We know that getting a new credit card can affect your credit by how much and in what way. Joining us now to help us keep on track with our finances, we bring Tony Walls with Town and Country Credit Union back to the show. Tony, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
We've talked about this in the past, but it's before we jump into credit score specifically, and I'm guilty, I like to open those store credit cards, and sometimes you just get great offers in the mail. So let's start with that. Adding new credit cards, closing credit cards, can that affect your credit score?
Absolutely. So we'll get the offers, and sometimes, yeah, you're going to open new accounts. You know, I don't want to say that, no, you're never going to open a new account in your life. So, but every time they check your score, it's going to be about 5 to 10 points. So when you do apply, they're actually pulling your credit. And then when you open an account, there's a 5 or 10 point hit to it too. So it can affect it. So if you're going to make a big purchase like a house or a car or something, you definitely want to monitor what you're opening and maybe kind of cool the jets a little bit.
Okay,
on
so
some
do
of those
the Old
things.
Navy card, but on the same day, don't do Penny's, Macy's, and Victoria's. Not all on the same day.
Not on the same day. Yeah, yeah. Because actually, those inquiries stay in your credit report for a year.
Okay, that's good to know.
So just kind of space them out. I know sometimes that's hard to do, but if you do open them, and you got some big purchases coming up, just be aware. I know it's sometimes hard to plan if you're gonna, hey, I'm gonna get a car in 3 months, but in the house, you kind of know, like if you're saving up for your first house,
Yes.
12 months before, don't go open 5 new credit cards and have a bunch of inquiries and apply everywhere for different lines of credit.
Okay, so you said every time they do a check, it's 5 points. So let's talk about the points. What is a good score? What's a bad score? When you're talking 5 points, how does that affect it?
That's one of the big questions I always get is, Tony, what's a good credit score? So basically, our tiers are basically 720 plus is going to be kind of A plus.
Okay.
And I have people who are 810 and they drop down to 790 and they're like, oh my gosh, my world's over. And I'm like, you know what? You still got rock star credit. You're doing just fine. So anything above 720, sometimes 740 when you do a mortgage is A plus. Anything from about 680 to 719, that's still like an A, B plus. You're still going to get some good rates. And as we talked about before, as the score lowers, the risk to the lender increases, so your rate's going to go up.
No shame for a B student.
Absolutely, yeah,
but
and that's A minus, B plus even.
Okay, but let's talk about the range where you should be concerned.
Well, when you get down to 650 to 679, that's kind of like a B minus, C plus. So you're not going to get those top tier rates. Instead of getting a 1.99 on a car, you make it 4 something. So it's getting in that little bit of a danger zone where it's going to inhibit you from doing some of the things that you want to do. And then when you get under, 640, a lot of times too, they can't finance the whole vehicle. Maybe they want 20% down. And if you have a lower score, you might not have the means to do that. So it's really going to handcuff you and what you want to do.
That's a good point, because some people might be watching right now saying, I'm in my apartment, I'm fine. I'm not looking for a house. This doesn't affect me. But if you're looking for a car, it can. So it's not just about your mortgage.
Absolutely. Yep. And if you're, like we talked about in the past, applying for jobs or trying to rent a house and you got collections and your score's below a 600, you're going to have some issues.
Can you fix it once you're down to that, 599 or less?
Yep, absolutely. And I'm a certified financial counselor, so I work with this all the time and with their members. And, I think the biggest stigma is, I don't want to deal with it. I'm so far behind the 8 ball that I can't even start. The best thing is get with somebody, sit down, look at the credit report, and get a game plan. And I say, a lot of times in tough situations, we didn't get there in 3 months, and it probably won't be solved in 3 months. But at least you can get a game plan. Okay, I'm going to hit these couple collections. I'm going to start paying down these credit cards and get a game plan. And as you kind of knock off the little things and move forward, you're going to feel great. And we talked about the credit card capacity there too. Kind of dovetails into what we were talking about. A lot of times people like, what's not a good score? Usually when you're 650 below, your credit card capacity is pretty maxed out. And that's going to drop your score. So that utilization is 30% of your score. So I've seen people with a $1,000 credit card maxed out, pay it off, and their score shoots up 80 points. So that credit card capacity is huge.
Think about that before you open up a whole bunch of store carts.
Absolutely.
All right, Tony, thank you so much for joining us today. Stay with us. Coming up next, your daily dose of motivation.